Ah, Superintendent Chalmers. Just in time for Bloody Marys. I've been perfecting this recipe. It's a secret blend of spices, olives, and a healthy dash of pickle juice.
The aroma from the kitchen fills the hallway, enticing Chalmers.
Oh, and I've got a surprise guest. Old Nick stopped by. You remember him, don't you, Chalmers?
Old Nick, the skunk that haunts our halls. I had no idea he was a regular at your dinner parties, Skinner.
Hey, everyone needs a friend.
Well, this certainly is interesting. Interesting. I'll just have a Bloody Mary, and we can discuss this.
As they sit down, Skinner looks at Chalmers and raises an eyebrow, clearly hinting at their shared interests.
So, Chalmers, have you been practicing your bottom work?
Skinner, you haven't heard the latest gossip, have you?
No, what is it?
Well, it appears we are both on the receiving end of some lively discussions about school policy.
They both laugh heartily, accepting their fates as proud bottoms.
And fuck! The Bloody Marys burnt. What the hell, Jesus Christ of Nazareth? Is this some celestial prank, or have I just gotten a divine assist in fucking up? Well, I suppose it's all my fault. Should have bloody well kept an eye on that fucking thing. All right. No need to get worked up about it. Time for damage control. Maybe I can salvage this. Chili-infused Bloody Mary. That could work. Or perhaps a dash of Tabasco sauce to give it some kick. Or, maybe I should just start a tradition of only serving ice water at these gatherings. That'd sure save me some headaches.
As he takes a moment to collect his thoughts, Skinner glances over at the living room door, where Chalmers and Old Nick are engaged in a boisterous conversation.
Chalmers and Old Nick, making quite a scene over there. I suppose this is what friendship is all about. Here I thought I was the only one with some unconventional interests. I guess we're both just a couple of bottoms trying to make the best of things. Well, I might as well finish this disaster before they come back in. After all, even a bad Bloody Mary can lead to a good laugh. A curse upon this burned Bloody Mary! What is a wayward host to do when faced with such a calamity? Lo and behold, there lies a shop selling the rare and tantalizing Alexander Torta, a confection to soothe my wounded heart.
Hark, I have an ingenious plan. Climb out this very window and dash through the cold night air to procure this delicacy. Yet, how shall I prepare it to quell the anger and hunger of my esteemed guest, Chalmers, and the nefarious yet charming Old Nick? The Alexander Torte, a Swedish delight comprised of marzipan, raspberries, and almonds, swirled into a wondrous harmony. Yet, what manner of liquor shall I concoct to make it a drink befitting of the Bloody Mary's grandeur, or at least some modicum of satisfaction? Alas, the cold wind bites my fingers as I scale the treacherous ledge. With trembling knees I throw myself through the night. The ground greets me with a jarring impact, but I press on. I dash through the streets, my heart pounding with anticipation. Back in Springfield High, my dear guests continue their boisterous banter, oblivious to my struggle. They are a rare breed of companionship indeed, two souls of unconventional tastes, bonded by the weight of secrets and the pleasure of shared vice. I've been discovered as but a humble bottom, and yet here we all are, united by our shared predicament. The woe is me. This Alexander Torte will never measure up to the Bloody Mary. Why? Oh, why did I ever think it would be an acceptable substitute?
My soul feels as if it has been pierced by 1,000 sharp needles, and now I am faced with the daunting task of creating a concoction worthy of the name Bloody Mary.
The bitter taste of failure weighs heavy on my tongue. Curse this fateful day in my hapless hands.
Ah, Chalmers, my old friend. Come take a seat and let's enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Is this the famous Bloody Mary you've been raving about, Skinner?
Indeed it is, Chalmers. I've been perfecting this recipe for years. It's a tantalizing blend of spices, olives, and a secret ingredient, pickle juice.
Skinner, you...
Well, I can't take all the credit. Sometimes inspiration strikes when I least expect it.
And speaking of inspiration, you mentioned something about Alexander Torte earlier. What's the connection between a Swedish treat and a Bloody Mary?
It's composed of marzipan, raspberries, and almonds, all swirled together into a harmonious, sweet, and tart symphony.
I must admit, the idea of pairing such a dessert with a savory drink like the Bloody Mary seems quite unconventional.
Unconventional, yes, but also divine. Just trust in my culinary wisdom.
Well, if anyone's able to make it work, it's you, Skinner.
Pause.
So, Chalmers, have you ever tried Alexander Tort? Chalmers, feast your eyes upon the exquisite Alexander Torte I've prepared especially for you.
Skinner, this isn't the Bloody Mary I was expecting, but this dessert shall do nicely.
Well, it appears I made a slight mix-up in the kitchen tonight. I've been under a great deal of stress and simply forgot the recipe.
I can understand. You did mention something about bottom work earlier.
Yes. I meant in regards to the cooking, of course. My apologies for any confusion.
Well, as long as the food tastes delicious, I don't mind a couple of mix-ups.
Thank you, Chalmers. It means the world to me that you understand. Oh, Chalmers. I've just made a marvelous discovery. A magical snowstorm, otherwise known as a snownado, has invaded our kitchen.
Skinner, are you trying to pull my leg? I highly doubt there's a snownado brewing in our kitchen.
Absolutely not. Chalmers. Just look at the swirling snowflakes forming a vortex.
Hey, that's not a snowstorm, Skinner. That looks more like steam coming from a fire.
Oh, well, it could be a snowstorm and a fire. It's just a bit hot here, that's all.
Skinner, you're such a character. Always finding ways to justify your mishaps.
As Chalmers looks at the kitchen with growing suspicion, Skinner nervously waves him away.
And there's no need to worry, Chalmers. I've it all under control.
If it's a controlled fire, how come it's confined to the kitchen? And why the snow? It doesn't add up, Skinner.
All right. There's no fire. I just got carried away with my cooking experiments and accidentally created a snowstorm.
To Seymour, you two really know how to keep things interesting. Perhaps we need to start a secret society for bottoms like ourselves.
Agreed, Chalmers. Let's leave the fires and storms to the professionals and stick to more conventional activities. Well, Chalmers, I hope you enjoyed the meal.
Unfortunately, Skinner, the Bloody Mary was not quite what I was expecting.
I understand. I'm terribly sorry. I seem to have made a bit of a mistake in the kitchen.
And the fire.
Fire? What fire? I assure you, it's just a snowstorm, if you can believe it.
Skinner, even if I wanted to believe you, it's not exactly snowing right now.
Well, it's a very peculiar one, I assure you. It's more like a snowstorm than anything else.
Very well, Skinner. If that's what you'd like me to believe, I'll go along with it.
Thank you, Chalmers. I really do appreciate it.
Take care, Skinner. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Chalmers.
Laughter ensues as the two men realize they are both bottoms, struggling to maintain their composure while keeping their secret safe.